Well, that was an ending, wasn't it? Wait, this is beginning, isn't it?
This is the beginning of the ending. Technically.
Right. It's the end of the beginning of the end. It's a Billy Corgan reference. Anyway, I'm John Ritland. This is...
The Derbinator.
An NWA Into the Fire review. Wow, a wrestling pay-per-view that maybe goes 2.5 hours and doesn't feel like it drags on.
Fancy that.
What a concept. That's a throwback to the whole thing of like Crockett days and all that and everything. So, there were quite a few positives. There really weren't a ton of negatives. They built some feuds nicely since they're still trying to rebuild the whole thing of like the NWA brand getting back on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, there were a couple of rough spots in the pay-per-view, but...
Well, it's like, I think that was almost a given. It's in the same studios that NWA Power is in. Mm-hmm. And Joe Galli and Stu Bennett won. Stu Bennett, great to hear him on commentary again.
Yes.
He was great. Joe Galli, really like him, calls it like a sport. Absolutely tremendous stuff. They did a great job. Mm-hmm. A great job. They made everything seem good. I would like to have heard Cornette on this, but you know what? Bennett was just fine. Bennett was great.
Yeah.
I think he actually added a lot more to it, especially with how he knows Aldis and how he knows some other people because he's competed in the ring.
Yep.
With a lot of the current people here.
And it's one of those things where you need someone with the fresher perspective if you want to make a company fresher.
Yeah, draw some more people in.
Yeah.
But we start off with, speaking of people that are fresh, we have Eli Drake versus Ken Anderson. Yeah, and Ken Anderson did not look so fresh. Look, I know that he's, 43?
Yeah.
So...
He looked about 50 after,
So bad.
Maybe he looked 43 like 6 packs ago. But...
We're not going to be... We're going to be fair, but we're also going to offer criticism because we do the same for WWE or others. We're going to have to do that. But look...
If you're going to be on a televised product, you should look television ready.
Yes.
There are ways to do that. I mean, like if you're a big guy like say Otis, like
or Trevor Murdoch or others.
Oh no, like Otis. I mean, but Trevor's.
Yeah.
You got to be some sort of presentable on TV.
You do. I will say though that everybody did bring their A game. Yeah. Everybody did do a really good job here. They did the best they could, and this was a very good pay-per-view. In regards to how, for $25, it was definitely worth it.
Yeah.
It was a very loud crowd. I mean, granted, there's only 150, maybe.
But they're in a little studio, so it doesn't really matter.
But still.
There's not, hundreds of people.
Oh, there. I got you. Yeah, the crowd was pretty damn loud. Some very good wrestling. I don't know who the fuck the heel was here, but Eli Drake got the victory. That was the right call. This is exactly what it should have been throughout the night. You use people from the past to build your future. And I'm not saying Anderson shouldn't be on TV at all after
Mr. Anderson.
But with Eli Drake, I mean, and granted, Eli Drake's only a couple years younger than me, but as far as somebody you could build around for a couple years, should he want to be in the NWA that long, it's a great idea. I mean, he has a name. He did well in Impact.
He has a name, as do most people.
Yes, he has a name in wrestling, is what I was trying to say, as do most people. I'm just going to steamroll over that, so I'm just going to beat you to it.
I wasn't going to say that, but...
You just let me do it. Yeah. Okay. But Drake won, and it was good stuff. This would not be the last time we would see this feud visited.
Yeah.
And then we get a Nick Aldis interview. The crowd cheered, and it's hyping up the main event. And then James Storm shows up. And says, well, it's hyping up the main... That's what it basically is. Hyping up the fact they each have respective referees. And James Storm dressed like I am most days. A hooded jacket and shorts.
And a t-shirt.
Yes, but, I mean, he is a much more accomplished athlete on his worst day than I could ever hope to be on my best day.
But you do have him beaten one situation.
I don't drink?
At Trauma.
That's a good... Are you sure? I'm not so... Well, actually, compared to wrestler. But anyway, this is good stuff. We get recaps of the whole build for the women's tag match we're going to get later. But we get Tasha Steelz, who I've never...
She's a great name.
Yeah. I've never heard of her, and I'm not trying to knock. She actually was pretty good, but I'm not as in tune on all the independent wrestlers as I should be. But I was impressed with her. She cut a good promo and then faced off against Thunder Rosa. Can't imagine.
Judging from her bandana, looks like she's Puerto Rican.
I believe so. You can't. Thunder Rosa was in this. Can't imagine who I was rooting for. But still, it's good stuff. It was pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Some nice wrestling. These women did work really hard. There's some good chops. Very nice wheelbarrow maneuver by Thunder Rosa. That was really impressive strength. You can tell she puts in the work. And Tasha did do a good job. Or Tasha or Tasha Steele. I think it's Tasha. She did a good job, getting some good shots. Yeah. But in the end, we get the stomp off the top. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And then Thunder Rosa attacks her and starts beating her down to bring out Ashley Vox, who's going to be in that tag match a little bit later. And then she Vox saves Tasha, but then gets her arm and wrist and everything bent. So suddenly she can't be part of the tag match.
Yeah, and Thunder Rosa really gave that Vox a pounding.
You proud of that one?
Yes.
You should be. To be fair, I really do hope she comes back to one of the indie shows.
Right.
Indie promotions we're going to be at. But you can tell she puts in the work, and Tasha, I would love to see her on. I would love to see her on more NWA television. She had a good showing here, and they need more women. And it wouldn't hurt to include some people that you feature on a pay-per-view. If you notice that I'm mostly talking about the NWA...
It's because I haven't watched NWA.
You watch enough stuff as it is.
Yeah.
You also have a lot of work that you've been doing. A lot of work. You've been working a lot, my man.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I've not had 2 days off consistently in a while.
But it's that money. That great overtime.
Dollar. Capitalism.
That should be the lyrics. But anyway, then we have Aaron Stevens, former Damien Sandow, coming out with the question mark, aka the Josephus
Thankfully
mark.
in his gi and not in the flesh-colored trunks that
we would see
later.
Yeah, we would see later. Is that a gi by Joe Galley saying that was?
No, that's a man in a gi.
He calls himself Sensei.
A man in a gi.
Yeah. He calls question mark Sensei question. I don't know why that made me laugh so much. And then the Mongovia national anthem, where he's just shouting.
Mangrovian?
Yeah. Mongrovian, I think it's Mongrovian. Yeah,
Monrovia.
but he's just shouting.
The flag has an emu and an armadillo with the unicorn horn.
Is that what the other thing was?
Yeah.
I knew there was an emu, but oh wow. You gotta have some silliness. At least they played it for. I
was like, what mid-80s wrestling bullshit is this?
Thankfully, they didn't go too long. Trevor Murdoch came out. This was. It's not that the match wasn't. It's not that the match wasn't bad. It just was okay.
Yeah, it seemed
TV more than pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That being said, you needed to fill out the card, and I'm glad that the question mark's pretty over. If they knew it was Josephus, which they have to. The fans aren't stupid. I mean, most of them. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there were some legit kicks by the question mark, and there were some chops as a receipt. Oh, boy.
Yeah, those kicks by the question mark were... Oof.
And I don't think he meant to. I think he just... With a studio wrestling, you got to make the stuff look good. He just made it look a little too good, because it was good.
I'm not saying that those were the stiffest kicks I've ever seen, but they were stiffer than Vince McMahon at a bodybuilding competition.
Stiffer than John Cena against The Undertaker. So, we get the flag tossed down. Because there's this weird guy. We never got to find out who the masked guy with the blonde hair holding the flag at ringside was, and it seemed like it was going to be a wrestler.
I don't think it was important.
It just seemed... I don't know.
Just hold the flag holder. Yeah.
Just hold this pole right there. So, we get Stevens distracting, and the double karate chop.
Karate!
And for 3. So, yeah, question mark wins.
Don't watch SpongeBob.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
Okay, see, I've never watched enough SpongeBob. We then get recaps of the whole Rock and Roll Express, wild card thing, and we get Rock and Roll Express with Homicide and Eddie Kingston versus the wild card with the Dawsons. NWA tag title match, and if you thought this was going to turn into an 8-man tag, no, but it almost did, because...
As I joked, even though they look close to death, it can't be considered a homicide.
Yeah, alright. In Atlanta. Anyway, so we get a suicide dive by Ricky. He lands on his feet. It was great that Robert was keeping an eye on, his corner and his opponents at the same time. I want you to understand that I love the Rock and Roll Express and I appreciate old school wrestling, but I joke about everything.
Yeah, and also, Royce Isaacs, we've seen him live. That dude is tremendous.
He's great. Him and Jor-El Nelson.
But the wily veterans, as they'd be called, really outsmarted the wildcards in this match.
They did.
Used their momentum against them, made them collide with each other.
It was a smoke and mirrors match.
Yeah.
And nothing against that. I mean, the Rock and Roll Express still at this age can do well, but it's good to see.
One was there during the creation of smoke, and the other one was there when mirrors were created.
Jesus Christ. The hot crowd. It was great to have the hot crowd. And we had Ricky Morton doing a Canadian Destroyer.
Yes, because what the fuck?
I mean, he's done it in other shows, but still. We then get the Dawsons and Kingston and Homicide brawling, which distracts Royce Isaacs, and then he gets a double drop kick, the Rock and Roll double drop kick, and they retain, which I didn't expect. But okay.
Okay!
The Dawsons.
What the fuck?
Why did the Rock and Roll Express have a tag team championship in 2019?
At least for this long. A nostalgia pop, I get it. Unless it's going to lead to, like, say, the Dawsons or maybe Kingston and Homicide getting the victory. Like, on NWA Power coming up. I agree with you. I think it's almost a lifetime achievement thing for the Rock and Roll Express. And the Wildcard did hold the titles for quite a while. So I'm not against that entirely, but I get what you're saying. I'm not going to deduct points for the pay-per-view, but still.
No. Oh.
It is weird, though. 2019. What the fuck is 2019? So,
a good year for wrestling.
Very good year for wrestling. January 24th, the NWA returns pay-per-view. They're going to bring back the NWA TV title. That means Tully Blanchard's going to go there and win it. Tully Blanchard, our dad. No, anyway. It's great. Stu Bennett announced that, which means Stu Bennett will probably be the first TV champion. No, he won't be. I want to clarify right now, and even though this is a month, about like 6 weeks away, the NWA pay-per-view is happening. We review WWE as well. It's happening an hour before SmackDown, the SmackDown before the Royal Rumble. So that pay-per-view is probably going to be watched by me later on delay. I will order that and then just, watch it on delay. But I'm excited.
On delay.
Reba. So, that's going to be good though. TV title coming back. We get an Eli Drake interview.
It does look nice too.
It really does. It's a great throwback. But he talks about, hey, if you don't hit that receipt thing, somebody can come and pump your gas. Well, nobody's pumping my gas. Eli?
I'm sorry.
What are you on about? Oh, God. God, what the fuck? What was that about? Why does he not want his nozzle touched? Anyway, so we get Ken Anderson attacking, and then he gets a chair to the throat, proving that Anderson doesn't chair at all. But Drake does, because it's the chair. It was on his throat. He beats him down, everything, and there was one point where somebody said, I don't think he's breathing as he was moving.
No. He's not moving, and then he moves a little.
I think it was actually during during the match. There was great commentary. There were a few times where it's like, that's the problem with studio wrestling is you're too close to the action, so it's like, you say stuff to draw people in, but the camera's already showing clearly there's something contradicting you. But it is what it is. We then get Allison Kay and ODB.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
All right, then.
Good. Versus Marty Bell and Melina. Okay, this was originally supposed to be like Thunder, this was originally supposed to be Ashley Vox and Allison Kay, but Ashley Vox got laid out. Cool. Okay, it advances the story. I know that Melina has not wrestled that much. And I'm sorry to any Melina fans that are watching this, but this was not a good showing for her.
No, it was not.
No, there were botches aplenty. Botches happen. It's not that this was the only match with botches.
Would you say she stumbled her way through the match?
I think everybody stumbled trying to help her. And it's not that she's bad in the ring. She's actually been pretty good in the ring for a number of years. The problem is that was back in 2011 on a mainstream stage. She has done independent wrestling and has actually done pretty well.
Okay.
But it catches up with everybody. This was not a good showing for her.
No.
Keep her as a manager if you want. Work her in some 6-woman tags.
But John, she's a legend.
It's said on NWA Power she's a legend in women's wrestling. There's some variation of that. And look, I'm sure she's nice. She ain't if she's a legend, then I'm the descendant of a pharaoh from Egypt. I mean, I feel bad doing that because I like the NWA, but just don't lie to us.
Yeah.
Don't. Pump up your talent. Maybe not on roids, but JR. But anyway, just, The other women had a good showing. I think Marty Bell's a very good athlete. Allison Kay does pretty well. ODB, she comes in and cleans house and pins Marty Bell.
Which is ironic considering
that she cleans house.
She's one dirty bitch.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And, of course, they're celebrating afterwards. And ODB offers Galley a drink, and he says, no, thanks, I'm not old enough. Which...
Allison Kay drinking it, pinkies up, of course.
I mean, yeah, that's the only way to do it. Allison Kay, I'm really glad she had a health scare a few years ago where I think she had some kind of lung issue. I can't remember if it was blood clots or what it was. Thankfully, she's okay.
Yeah.
And because she is really good. She is really good in the ring. And she's got enough years ahead of her. She's 32 with a wealth of experience. So she'll be great for the NWA. She'll be great wherever she goes.
Yep.
This was good. This was good outside of Melina botching. It just, you can smoke and mirrors it all you want, but just this... It was at least cool for the other three. Not so much for Melina. We didn't get Aaron Stevens with the question mark, and Aaron Stevens thinking the crowd's cheering for him, and the question mark does his stuff, and he gets cheered. It was cool how the question mark interacted with that kid.
And I love Aaron Stevens going down the stairs. He's like got his robe all hiked up so he doesn't get dirty.
Question mark interacting with that kid though.
Yeah.
That was cool stuff. That was some cool stuff. You had a front. You had had front row seat for the front row teeth between the entire front row. That's mean. Not that I have the best teeth, but good lord.
It's Atlanta, Georgia, not
Alabama,
Mobile, Alabama,
or Arkansas. Arkansas, I think.
Or Kansas.
There was actually a person from Canada that came into my store that called it Arkansas. Now Canada. Anyway, so Aaron Stevens with the question mark versus you guys know versus Ricky Starks versus Colt Cabana, the NWA National Championship. We have met Ricky Starks before.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks is a really nice guy and a really good talent. You met Colt Cabana.
Yes, also a very nice guy.
I did get to notice that he was pretty nice interacting with you. He was actually at the first independent wrestling show we ever went to last July.
Yeah, him and now John Morrison again.
Yeah, Johnny Defy, Johnny Impact, Johnny Mundo. Taya Valkyrie is also really nice. Anyway, Aaron Stevens in flesh tone tights. No, please, no. Why?
Because it's made to make you uncomfortable.
Well, it succeeded.
Yep.
The face is double team because of course Stevens is the main heel here.
And
Stevens,
with a name like Stroke Daddy, of course he's a face.
Right in the face. Anyway, at one point, Aaron Stevens hides behind the Christmas tree, which I don't know why.
Why was he hiding? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, then he was hiding in the blanket later. Colt,
he could have just grabbed a chair, sat down, and watched the two of them beat up each other.
Hey, at least we didn't have Colt Cabana set into the Christmas tree, because that would have been so great. Ooh. Hey, the match was good. The match, it was given a good amount of time.
Yeah.
It's told a good story of Stevens being the one that, kept getting beat up and then eventually got the pin.
Yes, because
we had
prediction with
the question mark.
Jason Matthews.
Yeah, Wrestle Rant. We talked about possibly, the question mark interfering and causing the distraction and the chop to Colt Cabana. And then Ricky Starks gets held outside the ring by the question mark. 1, 2, 3, you champion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing Ricky Starks will probably beat him at the next pay-per-view in January for the championship. I can't imagine that Aaron Stevens is going to hold the title very long.
Nope.
So, this is good though. And then we get a Tim Storm interview. It's great hype for the main event.
Yep.
And then we have the first fall, Brian Hebner is the referee. Second fall, Tim Storm is the referee. Third fall, goes to that coin flip. NWA 2 out of 3 falls match. NWA title. We get Nick Aldis versus James Storm. Very quick first fall because after some good wrestling and everything, Camille comes out and distracts. She can distract easily.
Yes, you can.
And Aldis is like, what? What are you doing? And then last call, super kick, 1, 2, 3. And then, he's just beating him and pounding him down and everything. And then, they go out to the match, Chris. It's the match. The match.
Right.
You knew what I was saying, didn't
you?
Okay.
Anyway.
But they goes outside, James Storm gets sent into the Christmas tree. Which, I don't know why that was funny. At least he didn't try to drink the tree. Anyways. This is good. This is good stuff.
The Christmas drunk.
Yeah. Just picturing the family from Christmas Vacation getting drunk. Anyway. There's some other good stuff. Once they got back in the ring, they spent a lot of time outside. And Tim Storm could have counted 40 by the time anybody got back in the ring.
Yeah.
With a couple moments, but it was what it was.
They did lead that around for quite a while.
They did, but at least they got back in the ring to break that stuff up. Anyway, soon after, a couple near falls, inside cradle, the most devastating maneuver, the surprise roll up 1, 2, 3, and Nick Aldis gets the win.
Yes.
And then we get a third fall. We have the coin flip, and Brian Hebner is going to be the referee. And some good action and everything, but then eventually Aldis accidentally hits the referee, so Tim Storm comes in. And there's some near falls, and oh crap, all of a sudden, figure 4 where Storm's foot, after it's reversed, his foot's right in Aldis' ass. And he's like, ow, ow, totally predictable.
There was near the end of the whole matchup, Aldis was in the corner and pulls away with the turnbuckle.
Yeah, little heelish there against a heel.
Storm runs into it.
And then gets the Kingsman Cloverleaf.
Yep.
And Storm is out, and Storm counts him out. A lot of Storms on this card.
A storm is a brewing.
God, if Lance Storm went to the NWA for a little bit, it would be so confusing. Referee Tim Storm, talent James Storm, produced by James Storm or Lance Storm. Then Tony Storm makes an appearance. No, anyway, a lot of Storms here. So
this is the weirdest family I've ever seen.
It was. There was controversy aplenty.
Yep.
All just talking about, I could say it's my ring, but nope, this is our ring. And then all of a sudden,
the lights come down and kill everybody. Ooh, it was bloody. But in all the news, it was the villain.
The villain that killed everybody?
Yes.
I mean, he was a villain.
The villain has arrived at NWA, maybe on route to Jacksonville, who knows? But anyway,
maybe eventually.
Probably doing some studio tapings right now for NWA though.
For the pay-per-view, he'll probably show up at the pay-per-view for the 24th.
Yeah.
And he'll probably go on AEW. But that's fine. It can revisit the Crockett Cup, where Aldis and Skrull had a good match. And it's good stuff.
But this was after Aldis says that no man alive could beat him.
Yeah. Then when the lights fade out, I was like, oh god, The Undertaker. No, kidding. That would be so weird. But we get...
What's me and Mark Callis doing in NWA?
But we get... No, but we get Marty Skrull and Nick Aldis had a bit of stare down. Good. I like it. It's a good way to do it. Skrull's left, Ring of Honor. Colt Cabana's left Ring of Honor. Everybody's left Ring of Honor. Will the last talent that leaves Ring of Honor turn out the lights, please?
Oh, jeez.
Look, this was a good show. There were some issues, and in all seriousness, as much as we joke, everybody did do a good job here except Melina.
Yeah.
B. Let's say B. Solid show. I recommend you guys check this out. The replays on Fight TV. I recommend you guys check this out.
It's the B show, and there's a pole, probably around here somewhere.
Your elbow's like popping behind my head. It's distracting. God damn! Anyway, but yeah, leave comments, hit the bell. Make sure to hit the bell because I'm not gonna be doing any tagging of
hit the bell if you're some kind of beast. But anyway,
your guest tomorrow because we're gonna be reviewing TLC. I'm John Ritlin. This is
the Urbanator.
I'll be reviewing NWA Power and any other pay-per-view next month.
Yeah.
2020, here we come. Ah.